It's fascinating how often the really big changes, they seem to start quietly, don't they? Almost unnoticed.
Yeah, in the most unexpected places sometimes.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today with this document, scariest.
Mm.
Our mission really is to unpack the very start of what became this huge global shift, to see how it all kicked off from what the source calls a seemingly unremarkable life.
Right.
It puts us right there in 2017, Wexford, Ireland. Says there was this profound stirring of conscience.
And what's really compelling, I think, is that this isn't just history. The document frames it as something that truly shook up solid ideas people trusted back then.
Okay.
It's suggesting that real world-altering power, well, it doesn't always come from the obvious places, the leaders or whatever. It can bubble up from someone totally unassuming.
Like this figure, Azurus.
Precisely, Azurus.
Yeah.
His life seemed, ordinary by outside measures. But the claim here is huge, that his life became the turning point, not just for the lives of others, but for creation itself.
Wow. Okay, that's a massive claim right off the bat.
It really is. It shifts your whole perspective on what matters, doesn't it?
It does, and that central paradox of Azurus. I mean, a guy in a small coastal town. Life seems unremarkable, the source keeps saying that.
Yeah, it emphasizes that.
But then, boom, the same life holds the power to change everything. The document even says, look, early lives can be troubled or uncertain, people make mistakes, but that doesn't stop these monumental shifts from happening. Sometimes it's even because of that.
Well, it leans right into that apparent contradiction. It suggests the ordinariness, maybe even the troubles, made the eventual change, well, even more powerful. Like a contrast.
Okay, so the ordinariness isn't a bug, it's a feature.
Sort of, yeah. It highlights that the catalyst wasn't about status or, inherent greatness from the start. And then it connects that single life to these unbelievable global consequences.
Right, you mentioned those. Many died, prisons emptied, governments collapsed, others united. Just sweeping chaos and change.
Total upheaval.
Mm.
And the source gives this incredibly blunt reason why.
Which was?
Because damnation was confronted.
Whoa, okay. That's not just politics or social change, then. That sounds almost metaphysical.
Exactly. It's framing this as a fundamental clash. A confrontation with something deeply wrong, maybe cosmic level wrong, not just flawed human systems. It's suggesting the root cause was way deeper.
Which is a heavy idea to grapple with. And it's not just what the document says, but how it says it, right? You pointed out the narrative style is unusual.
Very unusual. It tells you straight up. The story jumps around across years and places through cities, countries, and continents, not always in a straight line.
It even admits parts are out of order.
And remember differently, depending on who's remembering, through the lens of hope or urgency. So you're not getting a simple timeline.
Definitely not your standard history text. So why do that? Why present it all jumbled up?
Well, the source actually gives a reason. It says some parts have been placed with care, not to distort the truth, but to help it live longer in the hearts of those who read it.
Okay, so it's deliberate, crafted for emotional impact, maybe, over strict chronology.
That seems to be the claim. It's structured for resonance. And that makes you think, doesn't it? How does that affect your understanding of the truth, of memory, especially when dealing with events this massive, this confronting of damnation?
Yeah, does a story hit harder, feel truer somehow, if it's arranged for emotional impact rather than just date order?
It's a big question about how we process history and truth itself.
So wrapping this up then, scariest basically lays out this incredible arc. From the quiet beginnings of one person, Azurus, in Wexford back in 2017,
Seemingly out of nowhere.
to this absolutely world-shattering shift. A time where, as it says, damnation was confronted, everything changed. Government, societies, everything just crumbled and reformed.
It's an astonishing narrative.
Yeah.
And I think the final thought to leave you with is this. Given that this history, this profound change, is deliberately not told in a straight line,
Yeah.
that it's presented with parts out of order, placed with care to hit you emotionally, what does that mean for you? When stories of huge change are shaped for impact, not just accuracy and sequence, how does that change how you think about cause and effect, especially when the stakes are, well, confronting damnation itself?